Welcome to the Leadership Collective. I'm Sandra Elizabeth, and I am so glad that you've joined me today. Today, we are starting a new series on self-leadership. You see, leadership isn't about titles, fancy offices, or even having all the answers. It's about your influence, it's about your character, and it's about the choices that we make every single day. Whether you're leading a business, a team, or simply leading yourself, this podcast is designed to help you become the kind of leader that people can trust, respect, and choose to follow. So in each episode, we will explore practical leadership principles, real-life challenges, and proven strategies that will strengthen your confidence, sharpen your decision-making, and help you live a life of positive influence. Right now, you may be driving or just relaxing. You may be with a notebook ready to study. Whatever you choose, that's great, but let's get started and grow together. Every day is a new learning experience. Nobody is perfect. Albert Einstein said, once you stop learning, you start dying. So learning never ends. Today, we are going to learn about personal integrity. That's the topic of this podcast. You see, when people think about leadership, they often think about vision, communication, influence, or even confidence. Yes, those qualities certainly matter, but beneath every great leader is something even more important, and that is integrity. Integrity isn't something you put on when people are watching. It is who you are when no one is watching. It's choosing what is right over what is easy. It is about honoring your commitments, honoring your word to others, and remaining true to your values. Here's an interesting question to think about. If no one knew your job title, would they still recognize you as a leader by the way you live your life? That's a great question because leadership isn't defined by a position. It's defined by character. So who are you when no one is watching? There's a quote that says, integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. Ask yourself the question, are you leading with integrity? You see, every organization wants gifted and talented leaders. Every business looks for capable and motivated managers. Yet history has taught us a powerful lesson. Talent may open the door, but integrity determines whether you remain in the room. There are so many leaders who have lost everything, not because they lacked intelligence, education, or even skill, but it is because somewhere along the journey, they compromised their integrity. One poor decision, one hidden lie, one unethical shortcut, or one moment of dishonesty can destroy a reputation that took decades to build. Life is a journey. Nobody is perfect. And during the course of that journey, you learn lessons along the way. You don't just make the same mistakes over and over and over. Integrity is not something that you switch on when people are watching. It is the consistent alignment between your values, your words, and your actions. It means being the same person in public and the same person in private. Your public life must match your private life. Who are you when the public is not watching? It is choosing what is right over what is easy, even when there is no applause and no immediate reward. Integrity is not simply one leadership quality among many. No, it is the foundation upon which every other leadership skill stands. In this podcast, we will explore what integrity truly means and why it matters, how it is tested, and how every individual can cultivate it daily. More importantly, you will be challenged to evaluate your own leadership journey and identify practical ways to strengthen your personal integrity. Integrity is not about being perfect. It is about being honest, consistent, accountable, and committed to doing what is right, even when it costs you something. If you look up the meaning of integrity, the words whole, complete, or undivided comes up all the time. This is significant because integrity is about living as one whole person. It means that there is no gap between your public image and your private character. It means your values, your decisions, your words, and actions are all aligned. A leader with integrity keeps promises even when inconvenient. They speak truth with respect. They admit mistakes instead of hiding them. They accept responsibility rather than shifting blame. They treat everyone fairly, regardless of status. They make ethical decisions even when they are unpopular. They remain dependable whether anyone is watching or not. It also means resisting the temptation to wear different masks for different audiences. Authentic leaders do not need one personality for the boardroom, another one for social media, another one for their team, and another one at home. Their character remains consistent because it is rooted in deeply held principles rather than external approval. Your integrity is also demonstrated in everyday moments. Returning excess change after a cashier makes a mistake. Giving credit to a colleague who deserves it. Keeping confidential information private. Following your company policies even when shortcuts are available. Owning up to an error before somebody else discovers it. Just today I got to my car and I realized that one item that I had purchased, which only cost $2, was left in my cart and the cashier did not even add it up to my bill. It was extremely hot and it was a short distance to go back, but my conscience made me go back and pay for it. These moments may feel small, but they reveal the habits that shapes your character. Character is not formed in a crisis. It is revealed by one. So integrity is choosing to live according to principles rather than your convenience. It is the quiet discipline of doing what is right, even when doing otherwise might be easier, faster, or even more profitable. You have to ask yourself, would the people closest to me describe me as trustworthy? Are my private actions consistent with my public values? Do I keep my commitments even when they become inconvenient? How do I respond when I make a mistake? What small compromises have I been tempted to justify? Imagine you've been promoted to a lead company. Your team is excited. The board has confidence in you. Your clients trust you. They trust your judgment. Business is growing. Profits are increasing. And your future looks brighter than ever. And then one day, an insignificant decision lands on your desk. No one else knows about it. A supplier accidentally overpays your company by several $1,000s. You know that the mistake is unlikely to be discovered. Your finance department assumes the money belongs to you. So you have two options. You can quietly keep the money and improve this quarter's financial performance. No one would ever know. Or you can contact the supplier, explain the error, and return every cent. That's one decision, one conversation, one moment. Yet that single choice says far more about you, about your leadership, about your integrity than any business plan ever could. Your leadership is not measured by what you do when people are watching. It is revealed by what you do when nobody is. That scenario may sound simple, but every leader faces moments just like that. They don't always have to involve money. Sometimes it's about honesty. Sometimes it's about admitting mistakes. Sometimes it's about treating someone fairly. And sometimes it's about keeping a promise that has become inconvenient. Integrity rarely announces itself with flashing lights. Most often it arrives disguised as an ordinary decision. And those decisions eventually shape extraordinary leaders. I read a story about a manufacturing company that discovered that one of its products had a small defect. Engineers believed that the chance of failure was extremely low. Fixing the issue would cost millions of dollars, and it would also delay production. From a financial perspective, the easiest thing was to do nothing. After all, the probability of something going wrong seemed insignificant. But the CEO of the company asked one question. If my family were using this product, what decision would I want the company to make? And so, of course, the answer became obvious. The company voluntarily recalled thousands of products. They absorbed all the financial loss, and they openly communicated with their customers. Shareholders were frustrated, the competitors criticized the decision, media questioned the cost, but something remarkable happened. Their customer trust increased, their employee pride increased, their brand loyalty increased, and years later, that company was recognized not simply because of the products it sold, but because people trusted the people behind the brand. So integrity often costs something in the short term, but in the long term, it always pays the dividends. So the question is, what kind of foundation are you building? What kind of foundation do you have in your company? What kind of foundation do you have at your organization? What kind of foundation do you have at your home? Integrity is your foundation. When you look at two bridges that are crossing the same river, from a distance, both look equally great. Both carry hundreds of vehicles over the bridge every day. Both appear to be strong, yet beneath the surface, one bridge was built with high-quality steel and reinforced concrete. The other one was built with cheaper materials, saving money. For years, nobody knows the difference. Traffic flows normally, everything appears successful. And then one day, a severe storm hits. What happens? The first bridge remains standing, but the second one collapses. The storm didn't create the weakness. The storm simply revealed what had been there all the time. And leadership works exactly the same way. Pressure doesn't create integrity. Pressure reveals it. Every difficult conversation, every crisis, every setback, every disappointment, every criticism, these are simply storms that reveal the foundation we've been building all along. The question isn't where the storms will come. The question again is, what kind of foundation are you building? So here's my challenge for you this week. Before making any important decision, pause for just a few seconds and ask yourself one question. If this decision affected my family, or if this decision affected the public, would I still make the same choice? If the answer is yes, you're probably already leading with integrity. If the answer is no, then it's time to choose differently. Remember, integrity isn't built in the spotlight. It is built in the quiet moments no one else ever sees. And those quiet moments become the foundation of extraordinary leadership. And so as we come to the end of today's episode, I want to leave you with just one final thought. Leadership is rarely tested during moments of comfort. It is tested in the everyday decisions that no one applauds, in the conversations that no one hears, and in the choices that no one else sees. Your reputation may introduce you, but your integrity is what will sustain you. This week ahead, make time to look for an opportunity where you can choose integrity over convenience. It might be a small little decision, but remember, great leaders aren't shaped by one extraordinary moment. They are shaped by thousands of ordinary decisions made consistently over time. Thank you for spending this time with me today. And if this episode encouraged you, I would love for you to share it with someone who is passionate about leadership and personal growth. Together, we can build strong leaders, healthier organizations and communities where trust becomes the foundation for lasting success. Until next time, keep leading with courage, lead with purpose, and above all, lead with integrity. I'm Sandra Elizabeth, and you've been listening to the Leadership Collective. Take care, and I will see you in the next episode.